Hello and welcome to Nothing Zilch Nada. I'm Jacob Green,
And I'm Xavier Dean.
and today we're going to be Pokemon trainers or Pokemon professors, whichever way you want to go. I guess professors because we're going to be completing the Pokedex,
Yep.
so to say. In other words, we're going to be doing the first of many Pokemon tier lists, specifically the ones where we're ranking some of our favorite Pokemon.
Mm-hmm.
Now, of course, there's like over 1,000 of them now, and there's more yet to come in the future. Uh, but for now, at least in the case of this episode,
Mm-hmm.
and succeeding episodes, we're going to be going from generation to generation. So we're starting off with good old Gen 1 with
Mm-hmm.
the original 151. Now, some disclaimers when it comes to this particular series of videos in general. Uh, Again, we're going to be going through generation, and we're for now we've decided to not include the gimmick forms. So,
Mm-hmm.
no Mega Evolutions, no Gigantamax, no regional forms.
Yes, I'm still in the call. So we're using Google Meets today because they don't have a time limit for us,
Mm-hmm.
but they will on occasion ask us if we're still recording, which I guess shows how long it took for us to get through this.
Yes. Um, but yeah, no gimmick forms for now. They are gonna get their own spotlight, especially since with Legends ZA coming out and
Mm-hmm.
reintroducing Mega Evolutions and introducing some new ones.
Yep.
They will.
Including that one, and I'm just calling it this because I don't remember the name. The fighting chicken,
Yeah, Halucha.
Halucha. Yep.
Yeah, so they'll definitely get their spotlight at some point, but
Mm-hmm.
for now we're gonna focus on each generation, and of course, when it comes to these specific type of videos, this is just our opinion,
Yes.
and we're not necessarily gonna be doing a competitive ranking, especially since both of us are not competitive Pokemon players.
No,
Um,
not unless you include Pokemon Go, but that's a completely
yeah,
different thing.
yeah,
We
that
don't fight people
yeah, that
usually.
that is a different thing. Um, but yeah, there no competitive rankings. We're
Mm-hmm.
mostly gonna be uh, ranking them in terms of like design and how we personally feel about them, how we probably may have used them before.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and like I didn't start off with the first generation. I started off with Gen 3 with Ruby.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but uh, but I've actually played through a Gen 1 game since then. It was Fire Red, where I had a Gen 1 team. Um, but yeah.
And I just collected Pokemon cards and watched the anime.
Yeah, I've been collecting Pokemon cards too. We should probably go over those at some point.
Yeah.
Um, but with that out of the way, let's go ahead and start ranking
All right.
151.
Yes. Allow. All right.
Yeah. So for all of these, we're oh
Show. All right. Show screen anyway. Okay. I don't know if this.
to infinity and beyond.
Okay. Hold on. Let me quickly. Okay. So I guess we just won't have video for this, or we won't see our video for this. But that's okay.
Yeah, that's fine. Um, but anyways, yeah, for all of these, we're gonna be using tiermaker.com, pretty easy site to use. And for all of these, we're gonna be using like the baseline Ken Sugimori art. Well, not all of these are done by Ken Sugimori,
No.
but basically the ones that you would see if you were say watching the anime or you were looking at images through the trading card game, or even just simple advertisements. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and like I am someone that kind of likes the sprites more than the 3D models, but the artwork is a good representation of what we're about to do.
Right.
So now with that out of the way, let's go ahead and talk about the Bulbasaur line, the very first thing that you see on the Pokedex.
Smash. Oh wait, this isn't a Smash Pass thing.
That okay,
Oops.
so let's talk about Bulbasaur first. Who would you rank Bulbasaur at?
Where would I rank Bulbasaur? So, personally,
Mm-hmm.
solid A or B. You know, you've got the extra designs on the Pokemon. You've got the fact that it's a frog, and frogs are pretty cool. I like the bulb on it.
Yeah, I think A works best for
A-
Bulbasaur. It's just a very solid design.
Yep, that plus you could definitely trust him in a classroom of kids.
Yeah.
He looks like he would, for a lack of a better term, whip them into shape.
Yeah, well, if you take Ash's Bulbasaur in the anime, he was kind of like that type of personality.
Oh, Ash's Pokemon, or Ash's Bulbasaur would be on C or C list. I would not trust him in the classroom.
So Ivysaur. Ivysaur I kind of like less than Bulbasaur, but it's still a pretty good design.
It is a good design.
I mean, when you're talking about middle stages, some of them are kind of like those awkward teenage stages, the in between.
Yeah, I do like he's not a bad looking Pokemon. He's not a great looking Pokemon. I do like how with this evolution, the bulb opens up again to reveal part of a flower that still has to open.
Mm-hmm. I say B.
Yep.
I say B works. And then Venusaur, my personal favorite of the Kanto starters in terms of usability and also kind of design.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very great starter, just a really great attacking Pokemon, really great defensive tank. He's just he's a big old boy, but he's someone that'll get stuff done. I say either A or S. What do you think?
Okay, so for me,
Mm-hmm.
and this is a continuation off of Ivysaur, but I do like how the flower blooms.
Mm-hmm.
I like how, if you were to go from Bulbasaur to Venusaur, it does look like a progression from a kid to a teen to an adult.
Mm-hmm.
I like all that.
Mm-hmm.
But if you look at stature,
Mm-hmm.
Bulbasaur and Ivysaur stature are fairly lean. It's like, for lack of a better term, it's like if you took Anakin Skywalker from episode 1,
Mm-hmm.
and then he evolves to Anakin Skywalker from episode 2.
Mm-hmm.
So that's Bulbasaur, Ivysaur. When we get to Venusaur, it would be like evolving him to Unkar Plunth from episode 7. I don't know, it's just... He just gets so much bigger.
I mean that's kind of the point, especially when you talk about like some of these other like Kanto Pokemon, because like a lot of them, some of them are kind of basic in terms of design, where it's just like, oh, their evolution is just bigger. Not the case for all of them, but
Well,
some
no.
of them.
But what I'm saying is, like, it would be nice if Venusaur kept a little more of a slimmer model, but maybe showed a little more of the muscle in the legs, because the flower is blooming, it's getting a little heavier.
Yeah. Well, I mean, thinking about other Pokemon designs, they kind of have that same deal too.
Yeah.
But I still like to give it an A.
I'm fine with giving it an A.
Okay. Yeah. Like personally,
I mean, it's
he's my favorite starter, but I can understand why some people might not care for it.
Mm-hmm.
at first. Again, I have nothing against any of the Kanto starters.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of which, though, the Charmander line, I say for both Charmander and Charmeleon, I say either B or A.
For both of them?
Yes,
Okay.
because I kind of feel similarly to both of them. Because I mean,
So,
I do like the red color for Charmeleon
mm-hmm.
and the one horn behind. I think that's a cool feature.
Okay. So hear me out with this one.
Yes.
Charmander should be on B.
Okay.
Very basic design. Honestly, you take the flame away, he's basically a Cubone without the skull. Take the flame away, he's basically a Cubone with a skull.
Mm-hmm.
Very basic design.
Yeah.
Charmeleon, A tier, because you get that extra horn, you get the extra details, the extra claws, flame gets bigger, changing color.
Yeah.
And out of the three Charmander forms,
Mm-hmm.
he's the more distinct looking one.
Yeah.
So I'd say Charmander B, Charmeleon A.
I'm cool with that. And then Charizard, I know this is going to be a basic pick, but I mean, I'm cool with A, but honestly S.
Yes, I agree with S.
I know it's a basic pick, and out of the three starters, he gets the short end of the stick when it comes to usability, just because of its typing and the fact that it does not do well in the earlier gyms. Because it's I'll put it in the analogy that someone said in their retrospective of Red and Blue. Pick Bulbasaur, easy. Pick Squirtle, easy.
Yeah.
Charmander, grind until it becomes easy. Cause, especially in Red and Blue, where you don't have any other Pokemon that could deal great damage for the Rock type gym. But I will say, in its introductory generation, and even since then, it's gone on to become one of the most iconic Pokemon. And like, we'll talk about some iconic Pokemon later, but Charizard seems to be deserving of that praise.
Yes.
Like, even without the gimmick forms that it would later get, it has pretty good move coverage. It gets a good variety of moves. My only thing is that even though it wouldn't have been fair in Gen 1, I kind of wish it was part Dragon type too.
That is true. So here's my thing about Charizard, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's a dragon. It's not a dragon type, but it's a dragon. You got the wings, you got the fire.
That's a lot of these Gen 1 Pokemon, though. We'll talk about it later.
Yeah. But, like I said, when you... Like, I come from a family that loves dragons.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you can't go into any of the houses, whether it's my house or my grandparents' house, without seeing, like, 20 different dragons.
I like
just from walking in.
I like dragons. They're cool.
I do too. So when I think of dragons and I think of Pokemon, this is the dragon I think of. Again, I know it's not a dragon type, but it's a dragon. Dragon.
And
Dragon.
And it learns dragon type moves later on too. Like I know it gets like Dragon Claw.
Yeah.
And I think Dragon Pulse, but yeah, kind of weird, but still deserving of praise. The Squirtle line though, baseline Squirtle, I want to give S. Like, honestly, out of the base form starters, he's like simple design, but it's cute, but also cool at the same time.
Yes, especially when you give it shades.
Yes, especially when you give it shades.
But it can't be those like Ozzy Osbourne shades where it's full circles. It has to be the like Venom shades where you get that slant with the curve on the bottom.
Yeah. Plus, in Smash Brothers, one of the fighters is Pokemon Trainer, where he rotates between the three starter Pokemon, but it's different stages. He has Charizard, Ivysaur, and Squirtle. So, not sure if Pokemon had a handling when it comes to the Pokemon trainers like fighting aspects, but I guess Masahiro Sakurai prefers Squirtle.
Yeah. Personally, I prefer Squirtle too.
Yeah.
Squirtle is my starter. So S tier?
Yes,
Alright.
S tier. And then War Turtle, I want to give either A or B. So for some of these, I try to take into consideration their dex entries, and I think it's cool that the tail on War Turtle shows like its age.
Mm.
But also I kind of like the color. I like the
Mhm.
little tufts on the side of its head.
Yep. It is very distinct. It's like if you took Squirtle as a basic design,
Mhm.
War Turtle would be the perfect give it distinction.
Mhm.
Now it's got that poofy tail to show it's a squirrel.
Mhm.
Now you've got the ears on top. Personally, I would say this is S tier.
Okay. I I wasn't expecting that, but like I'm okay with that.
Okay.
Blastoise, on the other hand, though, and here's the thing, I get a little bit picky when it comes to water types because water is my favorite type.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, one of my favorite Pokemon that we will talk about in a later episode is a water type. I thought Blastoise was kind of alright, though.
Mm-hmm.
Like, take the blast cannons away from it, which are cool. Like, I think that's a cool design aspect of it.
Yeah.
But take those away, it's just still kind of a turtle.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, Squirtle is a turtle, but it has like little aspects of it that make it unique. You know, the squiggly tail behind it,
Mm-hmm.
the light baby blue color, the shape of the eyes,
Yep.
the fact that it like just has a round head.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like a little baby Ninja Turtle.
Yes.
Blastoise doesn't really have any unique traits going for it.
All right.
But I say I say B.
So here's my thing about Blastoise, right?
Mhm.
Those features I was just praising War Turtle for
Mhm.
are gone.
Yeah.
You can't even tell that Blastoise used to be part squirrel.
Yeah. Now, here's the other thing to take into consideration too, because you know evolution, unlike you know growing up in age, is like a radical different change. You know, kind of like a mutation in a way.
Mm-hmm.
But
I don't know, but still, if you look at the difference between Squirtle's tail, War Turtle's tail, and Blastoise's tail, it's like a Pokemon that we will see later. You
Yeah.
get, a base, like tail that you could tell is a squirrel's tail,
yeah.
with a little squiggle, and then you go and it's floofy. It looks good.
Mhm.
It's starting to get more of a water color to it.
Yeah.
And then you go, and it's all gone.
Yeah.
It is now just a stub. It is like someone took that tail, cut it off, and then attached a basic tail to it.
Yeah.
And the ears, too. You go from Squirtle having no ears
Mhm.
to War Turtle having these majestic, almost part wing ears.
Mhm.
And then you give Blastoise basic ears.
Yeah. I think what's also kind of lame too is its typing, because like the other two starters get cool secondary typings, like Venusaur, grass and poison. I mean, sure, Kanto has a whole bunch of grass and poison Pokemon, but
Yep.
you know,
This is why you don't eat any of them.
yeah, pretty cool typing. Charizard, fire flying. Again, like it's kind of wish it was fire dragon, but that's still a pretty unique typing to have.
Yep.
Blastoise doesn't get anything. It's just a basic water type.
All right. So I know you said B tier.
Yeah.
Are you willing to drop it down to C tier?
Yeah, I guess.
Alright.
I mean, because I want to be fair because it's the first generation, but again, when it comes to starters, I just don't really care about Blastoise that much.
And see, Blastoise is one of my favorite starters. But because we're basing this off of design and not moves or anything else
Well,
like
I say in terms of like usability, it still works out.
Yeah.
You know?
If we were basing it off of usability, though, Blastoise would definitely be higher. Squirtle would definitely be lower.
Mhm.
But because of this, Blastoise is down to C.
Yeah. Speaking of usability, though, we're gonna be moving on to the Route One game, or at least some of them. Uh, the bugs. Uh, I so the whole Caterpie line, Caterpie, Metapod, and Butterfree, I want to give all of them a B, because like all of them seem to have a pretty unique design from each other. And I know we just talked about earlier that like, oh, that Blastoise doesn't have any of the features that Wartortle has. There are some exceptions to that when it comes to other Pokemon.
Yeah.
And when we're talking about a Pokemon that's supposed to um, mimic the stage of metamorphosis through like a caterpillar and chrysalis and butterfly, um, that is the exception. And I say for this whole line, it's a solid B. Now, when it comes to these early route Pokemon, I don't think a lot of them are very great.
Right.
Especially because they evolve so quickly, especially the bugs.
Yep.
But you know, they're still really good design. I like Caterpie's cute look. I like how the antenna is supposed to be like a defense mechanism, like it's supposed to leave off a horrible stench, even though that's not conveyed like that in the games. I like Metapod just because I like the noise that it makes in the anime. And also Metapod versus Metapod.
Yes. It is basically two teenagers staring at the same picture.
And Metapod can learn other moves. I just find it funny that they, by evolving, they forget their other moves and just know Harden. And then Butterfree, it's not a great Pokemon, but it has some decent coverage moves, and it's pretty cool looking.
Right. So, I would agree for B tier for Caterpie and Metapod. I do want to say that Butterfree deserves A tier, though. I like how, well, I like this line specifically because it shows the evolution from Caterpillar to Chrysalis to Butterfly. But, Butterfree is a cute design. It's simple, but it's unique. If you look at the designs, on the wings, it's almost majestic. It's like, out of all the Pokemon, if you were to see a Butterfree out in the wild, you wouldn't think, scary Pokemon. You'd think, oh, that's cute. Oh, that's cute. That's pretty.
Yeah, except usually you don't see fully evolved Pokemon in the wild.
Usually you don't, but sometimes you do.
Yeah. No, I don't think Butterfree is one of those, though.
No.
Yeah, I agree with it.
Alright, so Caterpie B, Metapod hardens the B tier, and Butterfree at A.
Now the Weedle line, though. The Weedle line is interesting.
S tier, all around.
Really?
That was me, that more as a joke, but I will say one of them at least deserves an S tier.
Okay, so Weedle, I say either B or C.
I'm fine with C tier for Weedle.
Yeah, I'm fine with it too.
I feel like Weedle could have done so much, or had so much of a better design than just putting a bunch of brown balls together, giving each of them little stubs.
Yeah.
And then having a stinger at the top, stinger at the bottom.
Yeah, it makes sense in terms of like practicality because it is a poison type. But yeah, Kakuna, I give a B.
Okay.
In fact, I will say Kakuna, I recognize Kakuna more than Weedle because of the anime where like those scenes where like, oh, they accidentally get into a nest full of Kakuna and then they suddenly evolve into Beedrill.
Alright, so here's my thing about Kakuna. If you had asked me this a year ago, I would have agreed. Because I'm pretty sure you did ask me this a year ago and I'm pretty sure I agreed.
Yeah.
But since then, I have seen countless of posts talking about Kakuna's design.
Yeah.
And it describes how it looks. And the more I see them, the more I'm like, maybe I would agree with them. Like, for example,
Mm-hmm.
The design itself, yeah, it's supposed to be more of a chrysalis, but at the same time, it looks like body armor.
Yeah, you know
And
what?
then not only that, but right here at the point, this one, because of that line, it's supposed to symbolize Beedrill's drills.
Yeah.
So, it shows where the evolution is gonna go.
You know what's also interesting too? I don't know if you've ever taken a look at the Gen 1 sprites, but I know Kakuna's earlier Gen 1 sprites have its like arms sticking out, kind
Right.
of like its Beedrill.
Exactly. So I would go so far as to say Kakuna's A tier.
Okay, I'm fine with that. Beedrill,
S tier.
yeah, I agree with that. Again, is it good? No, but it is a pretty scary bee Pokemon.
Yes.
Although because like Pokemon sizes are just so messed up.
Mm-hmm.
But like Beedrill is only like 3 feet tall, I think. That's still a very big bee.
It is still a very big bee, especially with drills.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, I think the whole Beedrill line is pretty good. Although I will say, it is kind of messed up that Beedrill is the only bug type Pokemon that knows a bug type move, and that's Pin Missile, and also Twin Needle, which is an exclusive move. But
right.
yeah, we'll get more into that with other bug types. But the birds though, Pidgeotto, and Pidgeot. I'll be honest, the more I think about this line, the less I enjoy it. Because let's start off with Pidgey. Pidgey's just a bird.
Yeah.
C.
I don't know. I'd argue D. I feel like with a starter bird, and I know this is the first one,
Yeah.
but I feel like with a starter bird, you can get more detail out of it than just
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. And this is a complaint that I have for some of the other birds and even in the later generation. But why do all of them have to have the normal typing as their secondary typing? Like, can't they just be pure flying? Like, it took us until Gen 5 to have a pure flying type, but that was a myth. It was a legendary Pokemon.
Yeah.
And it didn't take us until Gen 8 where we actually had a regional bird that was pure flying at first. But yeah, I won't argue with that because I really don't care about Pidgey. I will say the only thing that holds it up for me was that my Fire Red playthrough, as soon as I got Pokeballs, I entered the bushes in the first route and I encountered a shiny Pidgey. But it was also the weakest member of my team.
Yep.
I tried to take it all the way to the Elite Four, but like it just didn't hold up sometimes. Pidgeotto, I give Pidgeotto a C, because I recognize it a little bit more than Pidgey.
Yes, I would agree with that.
Yeah, and
I could make the argument because of the tail feathers and the head on top.
Yeah,
it could go to B tier, but it's still just a bird.
Yeah, and I could say the same thing about Pidgeotto. It is a much more complete bird. Did I say Pidgeotto?
Yeah, you meant Pidgeot.
I meant Pidgeot. And this is one of the things. It's a fuller complete bird, but I still think it kind of looks a little too much like Pidgeotto.
It does. Well, not only that, but like, so if you look at the color between, I should probably have this like this. If you look at the color between Pidgeotto and Pidgeot, it's like the tail feathers and the head feathers switch. And there's something about that is very disturbing to me. Because I don't view that as a color change.
Yeah.
I view it as someone took off the tail feathers, took off the head feathers, and put them in the wrong spot, and now Pidgeot has pink eye.
That's a very interesting analogy. Yeah. Yeah, I usually when it comes to early route Pokemon, I usually do not gun for most of them. Well, except for a couple, but we'll get to those. Those ones are Rattata and Raticate, though. The only thing that Raticate has not Raticate. Rattata has going for it is
The name.
the
It's literally Rattata. You could make it into a jazz beat. Rattata, 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 Rattata,
Yeah.
Rattata.
I was gonna say the purple color,
That too.
but I say B. I mean not B, C.
I would agree with C.
Yeah, and Raticate, I want to argue for B, but at the same time, I really don't care about it.
Mm-hmm. Literally, the only thing I'd say it has going for it is the dex entry where it explains that the teeth keep growing.
Oh yeah,
But
yeah.
Here,
Plus Hyper Feint is a pretty damaging move when you could utilize it very well.
but again, we're going off look, not power.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to take a little bit of both into consideration.
A little bit of both. Okay.
Yeah,
I'm still taking a look in just because I don't play the games.
Yeah, but also there's that one story with Blues Raticate and how it possibly died.
Possibly.
Yeah,
That thing definitely died.
Yeah. It's not explained. There are subtle hints here and there, and like it does make some obvious claims, even though it doesn't say it outright. Either way, though, still a C.
Yep.
Like I really don't care.
Yep.
Now, Sparrow and Pharaoh, though, I actually think these are better early route birds
Yes.
than the Pidgeyline.
Well, definitely, they're more distinct.
In fact, before I encountered a shiny Pidgey, I was intending on using Sparrow and Pharaoh because those are better birds. Oh, and especially in Gen 2, when you get the female one called Kenya that you are given to, well, you're given to and you're supposed to deliver it to someone else, but you could commit Grand Theft Sparrow and keep it for yourself.
So you stole a bird?
Yeah, it's super good to use in Gold and Silver and Crystal and Heart Gold and Soul Silver because it knows better moves than the Pidgeyline does. Plus, it's a female, which it works very well against Whitney in the gym for her milk tank. But yeah, in terms of design and usability, I like both of them. I argue for both of them, either A or B, or
So-
maybe.
All right, so hear me out. I feel like Spiro
Mhm.
goes A,
Okay.
and then Pharaoh goes B.
Okay. Yeah, I'm fine with that.
I'm just thinking, like, Spiro is such a good design.
Yeah, and
And then-
it's funny because it's usually portrayed as the enemy in some
It is.
episodes of the anime, but
Especially the first episode.
yeah,
But then you get to Pharaoh, and just like when we were talking about War Turtle the Blastoise, like there's you can notice like there's some noticeable similarities in the same way, but at the same time, it is such a drastic change from one to the other that I don't think it deserves to be at the same spot.
yeah, I agree with that. Now, we got our two palindrome friends, Ekans and Arbok.
No, palindrome is where it's the same front and back.
Oh yeah, right. What's the term for when it's spelled the same, or not spelled the same, but like it's spelled differently
Hold on.
backwards?
Let me try looking that up.
Yeah. Anyways, while you're doing that, Ekans, I want to go for a C. Again, much like Rattata, the only thing that's going for Ekans is the purple and yellow color. But other than that, it just doesn't do it for me.
Yeah.
And a drum, that's what it is.
Were you looking off my phone?
Yes.
How? Can't believe you've done this.
Anyways, what do you think of Ekans? I think Ekans should be a C.
I will agree with that. I'd say it's nice that it's got like a rattlesnake look to it. I like the golden neck,
Mm-hmm.
but that's about it.
Yeah.
Plus, there's a snake in later generations that I like better than Ekans.
Yeah. You know what?
Unfortunately, not an Anadrome.
You know what is a snake that's better than Ekans is its evolution.
Yep,
Arbok.
Arbok.
Yeah. Now it's Cobra, but it's a very cool looking Cobra. I love the belly pattern that it has, and
Yes.
plus I love the sound that it makes in the anime, like Chabak.
Yes.
Yeah. I say Arbok should be. I want to give it an A.
I will agree with A. I feel like if it were just for like how it looked, like the normal look, the body mold, it would be B. But because you've got the extra detail in the hood, and each game has a different one,
Yeah.
easy A tier.
Yeah. It's a crying shame though that like it's not very good in later generations. Arbok is desperate needing of like an evolution, a secondary typing, or
Yep.
something.
Yep.
Give it something. Now we got our yellow boy here, Pikachu.
Okay, hear me out on this one.
Yeah. Okay.
He's an iconic Pokemon.
Mm-hmm.
No matter what,
Mm-hmm.
you ask someone who has never played Pokemon, has never even seen a Pokemon,
Mm-hmm.
you show them that Pokemon, they
Yeah.
will tell you it's Pikachu.
Yeah.
You've got the
yeah,
lightning bolt tail. Hold on. You've got
Yeah.
the lightning bolt tail. You've got the red spots that generate electricity.
Yeah.
You've got the ears with the black tips, and the fact that it's a hamster. All of that combined, D tier. I will go as far as to say D tier.
Really?
Yes, because
You want to be that mean to Pikachu?
it is such a basic design for something that's basically the mascot.
I don't know, man. This is the because here's the thing. You really think Pikachu really deserves the same spot as Pidgey?
Yes.
Wow. Okay, I want to make my case on this because
Mm-hmm.
at first, when we were first trying to do this tier list, I was arguing for an S. Since then, I would say an A, and here's my reasoning. Because, again, much like in the case of Charizard, Pikachu I think deserves the iconic status that it gets because they weren't in. I don't think they necessarily intended him to be a mascot Pokemon at the time,
No.
and yet he ended up being a star in the anime. He ended up getting his own version game where you started off with the partner Pikachu.
Mm-hmm.
Again, a Pikachu that is not as good. Because, like, Pikachu kind of sucks in the games. I'm not going to lie. But,
Mm-hmm.
but I like the red cheeks that generate electricity. I like the shape of the ears. The lightning bolt tail, like Pidgey doesn't have anything like that. He doesn't have like, cause like, here's what I think. Giving like Pikachu this that lightning bolt tail is the same thing as like giving Squirtle and Wartortle the shape of their tails that they have. That cause like when you imagine like seeing a silhouette of a Pokemon. Like who's that Pokemon? You see Pikachu silhouette, you know that's Pikachu. You see Charizard silhouette, you know that's Charizard. Plus, I think it's I still think it's a very appealing Pokemon to look at. You know, it's kind of cute, also kind of cool. It doesn't really freak me out. The only thing I have going against it though is that it's supposed to be the mouse Pokemon in its entries, and yet when I research how this Pokemon's created online, I can't tell whether this thing is created either to be a hamster or a mouse or a rabbit.
I have not seen Rabbit up until this point. So.
I've seen rabbit because like because Ken Sugimori was the one that designed like the bigger forms of the Pokemon like Charizard and Kangaskhan and Rhydon.
Right.
But there was another artist that did basically the base forms of the Pokemon, and she would be the one that would create Pikachu. But I disagree with the D, man. Because, like, there are other Pokemon that I think deserve D tier more than Pikachu. If I'm being completely honest.
Alright.
Because, like, I think it stood the test of time, man. Because, like, again, I want to be fair with this generation. I know people, because there are those people out there that say, "Oh, there's nothing wrong with the Gen 1 Pokemon, and they're so iconic." But I'm gonna tell you this, like, you probably don't remember some of these. Like, they're easy to remember because they're the first generation, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they aren't without their flaws.
Right.
But
I don't know. I see your point.
could we argue? Could we argue for a middle of the road in a B?
I would be fine with a B. I still think that Pikachu's design is basic, completely basic.
Yeah. Raichu, though, I think Raichu deserves an A.
Raichu definitely deserves an A.
Yeah,
because it's a drastic enough change, but you can tell what it evolved from.
Yeah, Raichu has definitely gotten the short end of the stick compared to Pikachu. I think the only other argument I have for Pikachu is that it gets so much attention, but so do the starters and other first generation Pokemon. Like, it wasn't until Gen 7 that Raichu got, like, a regional form, and it's actually pretty good.
It is a good form.
Yeah, and Raichu's, again, much like Pikachu, it's not that much better than Pikachu, but I still think it looks kind of cool. I like the feet. I like the longer Thunderbolt tail. Like, it's pretty cool. Okay, Sandshrew and Sandslash. I think both of them fall into the same ranking a little bit. I say B.
I'd be fine with that.
Yeah.
I would make the argument that Sandslash, because of the spikes, could go to A.
Yeah.
But I will accept a B.
Yeah. Because, like, what shares these designs? I tried to take, like, the type of eyes that Pokemon have into consideration. I think eyes are what really bring a Pokemon its character.
Yes.
Because if you don't have that very appealing eyes for a Pokemon, it just doesn't work. But Sandshrew and Sandslash, got nothing against them. They're pretty fine. Now the Nidos. Let's take both of these Nidos into consideration, the male and female forms. So, I actually find the male ones to be a little bit cooler than the female forms.
How sexist.
Sorry. Okay. Where do you want to put both Nidorans at?
Okay, so I would say that both Nidorans would be a solid B.
Okay.
I feel like they could have gone a little better with the designs.
But yeah, but they are early stages, and I think because, like, you can't go too busy with early stage Pokemon. Now, Nidorino and
Nidorina?
Yeah, Nidorina. I like Nidorino a little bit more just because of the spikes that it has, especially with its horn sticking out.
Well, see, here's my thing. When you're looking at Nidorino and Nidorina, Nidorina's standing up.
Okay, yeah, I guess there's that.
Nidorino's standing up. That plus, when you look at the changes between the female Nidoran and Nidorina, and the male Nidoran to Nidorino, Nidorino literally just looks like an older Nidoran.
Okay.
That's all it looks like. But you look at Nidorina Nidorina, it's not just an older version, it's showing, cool, I can stand.
Okay.
You're getting more design, you're getting more detail. You see what you get what I mean?
Yeah.
So I would make the argument that Nidorina would be at a higher tier than Nidorino.
Okay, I'm fine with that.
Alright.
However, I will argue with you on the final stages.
Hold on, what tier should we put these on? Because I kind of want to put Nidorino at B, because I still like the design.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Okay.
Nidorino on B, and then Nidorino on A.
Okay.
However, I think Nidoqueen should get an A, and Nidoking an S.
Okay. So here's my 2 cents in this matter.
Yeah.
I completely agree.
Ah.
I agree solely because I feel like Nidoqueen could have gotten a much better design.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe a couple more spikes.
Here's how I think about this too. Again, this is like a male and female form. The female form, you know, it is imposing, but then Big Daddy Nidoking comes up, and then you're, this is the Pokemon that makes you want to crap your pants.
That is true.
Although I don't think it's that tall according to the Pokedex. Again, Pokemon sizes according to Pokedex are just all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I like Nidokeen's design. I like some of the kaiju like Pokemon.
Right.
I think they're just some of the best designs to come up with.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Clefairy and Clefable.
Ooh, okay, so for
They
so
both learn.
this-
They learn metronome.
they do. So here's my thing about Clefairy and Clefable.
Mm-hmm.
Clefairy, cute design,
Yeah.
maybe a little basic,
Yeah.
but I like the design. It looks like it wants to give me a hug,
Yeah, it's a
and
pretty
it's
cute,
happy to see me.
yeah, it's a pretty cute design.
I would be fine putting Clefairy either at A or B.
I say A.
A? Okay, cool.
Also, I think you activated. I must have activated Siri.
Shoot. Oh, there. Sorry, I went to the wrong end of my mouse pad, so I couldn't go all the way.
Yeah, Clefable though.
Clefable. It's just a taller Clefairy.
Yeah,
And I don't know if that's supposed to be wings or spikes in the back. Completely ruins the design.
Well,
for me.
I think it's supposed to be wings because like you can't tell it from like Clefairy's art, but there are supposed to be wings on the back of it.
Mm-hmm.
So those are supposed to be wings. Also, I want to bring something up because it's like when people talk about the first generation, some people are like, Gen 1 has really great designs, and then they go to other generations, and it's like, oh, this is just a bigger version of that Pokemon. And, like, I'm not saying that isn't the case for other generations. What I am saying, though, is that they had that same problem in Gen 1, and I
Right.
don't like it that people lambast it. Again, I'm going easy, because it's the first generation.
Mm-hmm.
But Clefable, I say either B or C.
I would go C tier.
Okay, I'm
Because,
okay
like I
with it.
said, to me, Clefable is literally if you stretched Clefairy out
Yeah.
and gave it. Again, to me, those wings just look like spikes.
I will say,
They're
I will
unnecessary.
give Clefairy and Clefable this though. Once it getting to the fairy type in Gen 6,
Mm-hmm.
it's a beast.
Yeah.
Vulpix and Ninetales. So, I really like Vulpix. I think it's a very cute little fox Pokemon.
Mm-hmm.
I say B or A.
I'm fine with A tier just because of the tail.
Yeah,
I feel like the tail gives it enough distinction.
yeah. It also has 6 tails, which grows into 9 tails. 9 tails. Okay, why did they give it this name? Like,
Because a fox is known as a nine-tailed.
oh, I did not know that.
I'm pretty sure that's. There was something involving foxes and nine-tails.
Either way, I do like the design. I
Mhm.
still give it a B, though, because I think the one thing that holds it back for me is the fact it's supposed to be like a kind of a ghostly Pokemon, and yet it does not have the ghost type.
That is true.
I'll say this now, like Gen 1 is really lacking in ghost types. Because it's only exclusive to one line, which we'll get to.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Jigglypuff and Wigglytuff. So
Okay, Jigglypuff is D tier. I don't care what you say. Jigglypuff is D tier.
Another
Nope,
disagree.
D tier.
Again,
D tier.
my same thing with Pikachu, though. Like, I argue for B. Because,
No. I am sticking to D tier.
okay.
If there is a lower tier than D tier, Jigglypuff goes there. You want to know why?
I'm curious why.
Jigglypuff sang to me, made me go to sleep, stole my money, and drew a couple unsolicited pictures on my face. Because of that, D tier.
I mean, it's a gag in the anime, but
D
like...
tier. I lost $250 from that Pokemon. No, I didn't have $250 in my wallet. It just so happened that this happened 4 times in my life.
I still say B.
D tier.
Come on. Okay. How about this?
Okay.
I'll make you this proposition.
You know what? Here, all jokes aside, I do like the design. I feel like it kind of looks a little elvishy. Like, not elvish, Elvis. You know, the hair kind of looks a little bit like Elvis. I like how
That's a weird point to bring up, but yeah.
Well, if you look at Elvis's hair, how it has that little...
Yeah, but the pompadour is usually a little bit bigger. Jigglypuff's is just kind of like a little thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I do like the ears. I like the shape. I can agree with B tier.
Okay. And I was gonna say...
But if we were actually going with the personality, I would stick with D tier.
Yeah, oh yeah. I mean, I kind of like its gag in the anime.
And I'm still sticking with D tier.
Yeah. Anyways...
Jigglypuff is a menace to society.
I was gonna make the proposition, though, that if you would put Jigglypuff in B tier, that I'd be okay with Wigglytuff being in D tier.
I'm fine with Wigglytuff being in D tier.
Cause like, it's same thing with Clefable. It's just stretched out. Like...
That plus Wigglytuff changes the look from a balloon to a bunny. It kind of looks like the next evolution from Wigglytuff would be Big Chungus. Like a pink Big Chungus.
That's an odd comparison, but totally fair. Yeah, I don't care much for Wigglytuff. Mm-hmm. Okay, the bats though. The cave Pokemon. Zubat and Golbat. So... I like the colors. I also like, in terms of Zubat, how it doesn't have any eyes and just relies on its ears. And the fact that it doesn't have feet yet. I say for both Zubat and Golbat, B.
I will agree with that.
B for bat.
So, for both of them, for me personally...
Yeah.
It's like when one is lacking a certain trait that I would enjoy, it makes up for it with a different trait. Like you mentioned, Zubat doesn't have eyes, so it focuses more on its ears. I like that.
Yeah.
Crobat, however, gets eyes, but the mouth is bigger. It is like 90% mouth.
You said Golbat? Crobat.
Crobat. Right, Golbat's not this one yet. But Crobat.
Golbat is the one.
This is Golbat?
Yeah, this is Golbat. Crobat is the purple bat.
I said the right one then.
Yeah.
I said Golbat.
Okay. I guess I was confused. Anyways,
making me double.
Yeah. If Golbat didn't have the wide mouth, I would have probably put it in C or D. But because it does have the wide mouth, and also the Gen 1 sprites that was used for the American release of Red and Blue has that tongue sticking out.
Yes, the tongue.
Yeah. So
Smash.
B for bat. B for bat.
Okay.
The oddish line though.
Okay.
I think the whole line gets a B. Because there's subtle design features that I like for each of them, because they're weed and flower Pokemon. That have like subtle design quirks. Like I like Oddish, that like it's just the leaves sprouting on top and it's just a cute little guy.
Yep.
Gloom, I know the drool is gross, but I kind of like it. Also the fact that it looks gloomy. And then Vileplume, I kind of like how snarky it looks under the flower.
Yeah.
You know, kind of looks like it's up to no good or something.
You know, now I think about it, maybe 20 of those $250 that Jigglypuff stole from me came from that one.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah, I think the whole line gets a B tier.
I will agree with that.
Paris and Parasect, though. So...
Okay. You gotta hear me out on this.
Okay.
I absolutely love Paris's design. I feel like it deserves an A tier.
Hmm.
I like the two mushrooms. I like how distinct the eyes are. I like
Yeah.
the little mouth.
Hmm.
And I like how the claws up front
Yeah.
have that little extra detail.
Hmm.
Parasect, I hate it.
You hate it?
I hate it.
See, a while back I would have agreed with you, but I think the one thing that saves Parasect for me, because this is why we're ranking them based on design, because like if we're talking about in terms of strength, Paras and Parasect would instantly be like in the lowest tier just by the fact that they're bug and grass types,
Right.
which means they have a whole bunch of weaknesses tied to them.
Uh-huh.
But the thing that saves Parasect for me is its dex entry about the mushroom taking over its body and almost becoming a zombie.
See, that's where I would say Parasect would be B tier, just because you've got the dex entry. But besides that, you kind of lose the like some of the features that Paris had that makes it enjoyable. So I want to make the argument: Paris is A tier, Parasect is B tier.
I'm okay with that.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, yeah. I again, much like in the case of Arbok, I wish this gets like an evolution at some point, and that evolution should be Grass and Ghost or Bug and Ghost
Mm-hmm.
because it deserves a better typing. Okay, now we get to the oddest design of the bunch, which is Venonet and Venomoth.
Mm-hmm.
Like every time I look at Venonet, I just think to myself, this feels like it should belong in the Butterfree line. Like, I don't know if it's because of shared design differences, but
I
like,
can see that.
because like, it's got the purple color, it's got the similar shaped antenna,
It's got the red eyes.
yes, it's got the red eyes. Because here's the thing, I like Venonet. You know, I think it's a really cute design. I think it should be a B tier.
Mm.
Venomoth, though, the only thing that it has going for me is that light purple color, but it just feels too radical of a departure from Venonet.
Mm-hmm.
So I say I give it either a C or D.
I will say C tier, and you said B tier for
Yeah.
I would be fine with C tier because I feel it doesn't deserve the hate because it's still got enough detail.
Yeah.
All right, now
Diglett and Doug trio.
or as Smosh would call them, shit in the ground and three shits in the ground.
Yeah, that's the Pokemon Go video where it's just like, oh yeah, it's this little guy and it's this little guy. Oh yeah, that's Pikachu.
Yeah.
So okay, this is gonna be the case with a couple of other Pokemon too, but Diglett, I say Diglett's a B. Like I know it's just a little nub, but like it's a cute little nub. Plus I like all those videos that people make online of like what is actually underneath a Diglett.
Mm-hmm. Well, here's the question about Diglett.
Mm-hmm.
That pink thing, is it a nose or a mouth?
I think it's supposed to be a nose because in the anime it doesn't move. Like it doesn't have any type of mouth whatsoever.
Or if it's just an open mouth.
Yeah, that would have been able to tell. You would have been able to tell it's a mouth because like there's a shine on that pink part.
Okay.
But Doug Trio though, C. Like, it's just stronger than Diglett, but that's all it's got going for it.
Mm.
Like
I'd make the argument of sticking it into B tier. It's literally just three Digletts in a trench coat.
I'm fine with that. Like it's kind of whatever.
You completely ignored my trench coat joke.
Mm. Well, that's just because it's dirt on the ground. But now, Meowth.
Ow.
I think Meowth deserves an S tier.
Yeah.
If I'm being completely honest, and it's really because of the anime. Because as it stands, you know, Meowth is just another crowd and a whole bunch of normal types.
Well, see, for me, it's more out of all the cat Pokemon we've gotten.
Yeah.
Meowth is one of the most distinct ones.
I agree with that.
Plus, you've got the coin on the head.
Yeah, the coin on the head really
And
gives it its tree.
for those of you who don't know, that coin on the top of the head is worth equivalent to $100.
Yeah, that
So
is.
when it gives you payday several times just to make sure it gets into S tier,
Yeah,
you become rich.
yeah.
Yeah.
And plus the voice. Meow. That's right.
Mhm. Oh yeah, it is one of the only Pokemon who actually says
Lines.
Yeah.
Yeah, teaches himself how to talk. So that's deserving of an S tier.
Yep.
I can't say the same thing for Persian though. I think Persian is kind of a big downgrade.
Oh,
for
so
Meowth.
much of a downgrade.
Now, I say the only thing that it has going for it is that in Gen 1, because critical hits were determined by speed stats back then, that Persian was a really good Pokemon for that.
Yep.
But other than that, C tier.
Yep, I agree.
Like, C for cat.
I would argue, or I would possibly argue D tier, but at the same time, it's a cat and it's got a gem on the head.
Yeah, it does have the gem on the head. Without it, it just looks like a cat.
Yep.
Psyduck and Golduck.
S tiers.
Oh, you're going that far.
Well, so Psyduck, yes, yellow duck.
Mhm.
We're all used to yellow ducks.
Yeah.
But it is a psychic yellow duck that constantly gets migraines, and you can see it in the design. It is constantly holding its head. The eyes are like it looks like there's nothing in them, but you could tell that he is in pain.
Yeah. My other argument too, in terms of Psyduck and Golduck, is that much like in the case of Meowth, there are later duck Pokemon that just don't hold the same candle as Psyduck and Golduck.
Oh, definitely not.
So I'd be fine with giving Psyduck like A or S.
Like I said, I'm sticking with Psyduck on S.
Okay. I'm fine with that. Psyduck is cool.
Yes.
Yeah. Speaking of cool, Golduck. I think Golduck is a pretty big step up.
Yes. Definitely.
I say either A or S.
I will stick with S for this one as well.
Okay.
I like how Psyduck looks. Or
Yeah.
not Psyduck, Golduck. I like how Golduck looks. I love the fact that they specify in the water Golduck has the fastest speed.
Yeah.
I feel like just that family in general are nice people, and I just want to give Psyduck a hug in hopes that its head eventually gets healed.
Yeah. And plus Psyduck in the anime is just a treat. Mankey and Primeape. So, I mean, they are monkeys and apes, but they at least have some pretty cool design quirks going for it.
They do have cool design quirks.
I like the long tail that Mankey has. I think the eyes are kind of like a little angry little guy, and then Primeape is like what would be a good comparison for Primeape? Well, Primeape is just an ape that you don't want to mess with, period.
Yeah.
I say either. I think Mankey gets a B.
I would be fine with Mankey getting a B.
Primeape, I say either B or A.
I'd be fine with A.
Okay.
I'd be fine with A. Part of me wants to make the argument that Primeape's lower, but at the same time, Primeape gets those extra add-ons that Mankey doesn't have.
Yeah. The fact that it loses the tail is kind of strange, but actually there's another Pokemon coming soon that kind of has that same quirk. But yeah, I think they're very solid. Growlithe and Arcanine. So
Growlithe's just a good boy. Be nice to him.
Yeah. I am gonna be nice because I think Growlithe. I say Growlithe either gets a B or an A, although I am willing towards A, and then Arcanine.
I'm fine with A.
Arcanine, I say either A or S, because it's actually one of my favorite Gen 1 designs.
I like the S tier.
Yeah. I find it funny that it's described its Dex entry as the legendary Pokemon, even though it's not legendary.
Yeah.
I guess this was before they had specific categories for Pokemon back then, because there weren't too many legends. the Poliwag, Poliwhirl, and Poliwrath. I think all of them get B. Because I like the cute I like the cute design of Poliwag. I like the feather tail. I think it's cute. I like Poliwhirl, where like it doesn't feel too awkward of a stage. I love the big little fists that it has.
Yeah.
And then Poliwrath, it is a bigger version of Poliwhirl, but I say the fact that it gets the fighting type on evolution and that it does have an eye change make it enough for me. Again, I think it's a solid line overall.
Yeah. So B, B.
Plus, I like the swirl pattern on its body too, and also I kind of have fondness for it because it was one of the Pokemon featured in the original Adventures manga.
All right, I'm just taking a quick look.
Mm-hmm.
So we've probably only gone through half of the Pokemon, and we've probably been recording for a full hour.
Yeah.
Do we want to try to? Because I know you still have to make your drive home. I still have to go and get oil for my car.
Yeah.
Do we want to probably stop right here, take a screenshot, and then next week go over the rest?
Sure.
All right.
I'm okay with that.
All right. So for today, I think the video ended.
Uh-oh.
Well, no, the video's still going.
Oh.
Is it? Oh, maybe not. No, video's still going. Oh, I think. It should still be going. I don't know why it was... Oh, wait, because that's... Nope, so the video is still going. So... Ooh, actually, I can do this. I know exactly how to do this. I'm going to go... Because this is precisely what I need right now. I'm going to take a screenshot of this. And like I said, next week, which for us is going to be 2 weeks.
Yeah.
We're recording this before the release of our last episode. Just because the next week, both of us are going to be extremely busy.
Yeah.
So, I'm going to take a picture of this. There. All right. And then we'll just end the episode here. Next time we come back for my section, we'll do the second half.
Yeah.
But besides that, I'm Xavier Dean.
And I'm Jacob Green.
We'll see you next week. Or I guess for us, 2 weeks from now.
Yep.
All right, so let me just go back to here, and stop.